So there's two major points that I'm going to address in this video. Both have to do with dumbbell pressing on a bench. The first being the actual setup. And I've seen a few different ways that people like to get the dumbbells into place, but some of them only work with lighter weight, and once you start to progress and get stronger and you get into heavier weights, they become a lot less effective and actually a little bit dangerous. So one way that you might see people get them into place is you'll see guys who I guess they either picked it up from a friend or they saw someone else do it, and when they go to lean back, you'll get a kick and then a kick with the other leg. Or similarly, you'll see some folks that just keep the arms straight as they lean back and then set the legs down. Same way they get them back up. That can work. But I found once you get up to 90 and up into the hundreds and above, both of those methods don't seem to work as well. You feel a little more unstable underneath the weights. So the easiest way that I've found to actually get them into place is when you pick them up off the floor, you're going to set them up as high in your hip crease as possible. So this should be resting just up against your abs and resting on the top of your quads. Now, if you just set them down on the top of your knees, and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot, but I don't want to put them back down, you can just simply pop the weight up using your foot and inch it up your legs. So that's typically how I get them set into position. Now when I go back, all I do is I simply pull the weights into me and keep them on my chest so that as I lay back, there's zero movement in the actual weight on my body. And then I press down the bottom, and I can either let them down to the side when I'm done, or I can go back to that finished position from earlier and sit up with them. The second thing that I want to address is how you actually get back when you're sitting back. So what happens with some folks is when they go to sit back, they'll go into this overextended position. So they can't really differentiate extension of the hip from extension of the spine. So as we go back, rather than thinking about leaning your body back, I've been using my feet again, but this time instead of popping the weight up and moving it into the crease of my hip, it's actually going to start the descent of the movement. So here's the difference. Instead of pulling back and arching, I'll actually pick my legs up by pushing my toes into the floor or dorsiflexing my feet. And that will push me initially to get me started on the way back. So one more time, the difference is here, arching back into it, versus pushing, getting my momentum going, almost kind of like you're in a rocking chair, pushing with the feet, and allowing yourself to lay back smoothly. So it may not make a big difference under lighter weights, but I can guarantee you once you get to heavier weights, the more smooth and controlled you are going back, then when you're trying to press out of that bottom position, it's not going to feel as awkward on your shoulders, and you're going to feel a lot more stable under the weights. So again, set them up high in your hip crease, and then use your feet to start the descent rather than thinking about pulling back. Give them both a shot. Let me know what you guys think.